Welcome to the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, and first up we have a look at a Marvel Legends reveal we talked a little bit about before, but now it is available for pre-order. It is that of the Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home Green Goblin. Now the cool part about this one is, yes, it's titled that, but it is very much Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire's Green Goblin in a way. But this was very clever because he technically did look like this at one point in the movie. And this way, I think they didn't have to worry about asking Sony for permission like the Venom Spider-Man from, I think it was the third movie. So this is really interesting. I'm very excited for this one. This was an instant pre-order for me as a fan of those old Tobey Maguire movies. So I already picked it up. It is available, of course. Link in the description down below with everything else that's available, like usual. This was a mainline thing, so I think it was everywhere pretty much. BBTS, Entertainment Earth, Hasbro, Amazon. I think it might be in stores later on this year when it goes live, but when it ships out, it might show up at like Target or Walmart. I know it will show up at GameStop because they usually get things if it is a fan channel exclusive. But yeah, really cool, very excited for this one. And today was the Yojo June Week 3 Wednesday reveal from the Hasbro team with Baymax and the guest Secret Galaxies Dan Larson. And the only thing that went live for pre-order today was the previously mentioned items, which were the Dusty with the Coyote, which was a deluxe animal pack, and then the Arctic rescue person. I feel bad, I don't know the actual name. And that one's really cool because I'm curious to see if you could swap the heads that come with it, that are just the masked heads, with other figures, maybe like a Snake Eyes, and you could have like a special ops looking character. And then, of course, just the accessories are really cool. It's fun to see other characters that might be in the background of your collections. Maybe you have, this character in the background of your Marvel Legends Sasquatch fighting the Wendigo, and you could have him in the background or something like that. But yeah, really cool. Both of these are available for pre-order. And then everything else here is digital renders or name-only drops. So we got our final Retro Wave announcements. It is Falcon, the Valkyrie. I'm kind of curious how they're going to do this because I don't think there ever was a retro one, so this will be cool to see what they do. And then the third and final is that of, I think it's Flash, the Laser Soldier, which is our original 13 final member that we need, so that's really cool. And then when it came to the main line, we got a look at the Iron Grenadier. I think it's Madame Armada. I hope I said that name right. I think it's Madame Armada. Which is really cool looking. They did mention that is not the original appearance, but they wanted to bring it up to classified, which I think looks awesome. It's not something that really has ever had like a toy, I don't think, because it was during, I think, either the IDW or the recent Image Comics they brought back the character. We also got to see a Toxic Viper. Love what's going on there. Looks really awesome. And then we got a look at, what was it? Avalanche, I believe it was. Finally got his digital render reveal, which I'm very excited about, to get more Arctic characters to go with the Snowcat. And then we got two other items, a rugged Duke that's not really based off of anything, I don't think. It's just a more like vetted looking Duke. They did say that there will be a possible Skybound Universe Duke later on, I think. It's kind of what they hinted to. And then another item that is just a silhouette that I know they told us the name, but I forgot it already. I feel really bad. But it's a new Joe, never before seen in any media, I think, kind of like the new Sundance Joe or the Dr. Raptor, whatever his name is, with the Raptor. So that's really cool to see that we get some more new characters added in. And so that was a lot. There was a lot that was, I think they did a lot of digital renders and a lot of name drops compared to the last ones, I think. There was only 2 pre-orders, but yeah, and they did say you get an idea of what's going to probably be available for pre-order next week, which I think it must be all the things that they showed us the digital renders of, and then the name drop stuff will probably be during the summer convention period. But yeah, lots of awesome G.I. Joe. I'm looking forward to the 4th and final week, and then after that, we're into July, which will be Comic-Con, so we'll see even more G.I. Joe stuff in late July, probably. And speaking of Comic-Con, Jetta Toys is revealing new products every day of this week. It started on Tuesday, so we only have 2 items that were revealed so far, but there will be more items revealed later on this week. Definitely check out my Instagram to see those when they go live, to reveal them, because I'll probably share them on my stories. None of these items are available yet until the week of the convention, I believe. But first up, we have 2 Street Fighter items. The first one is, I feel bad I can't remember the name of the villain-ish looking character. oh god, I'm pulling a blank on him, but it's his Player 2 version, which comes with a couple of Player 1 accessories like they do with these convention exclusives. And the second item, the one I'm most excited about, is the You Lost pack, is I think what they have it called, where it's all the characters when they get defeated, and it's their faces and hands and extra pieces. So it's a really awesome add-on pack for anyone who's been collecting the line, which is really cool. I'm assuming those are our 2 Street Fighter exclusives, and then we'll probably see something for other licenses like Mega Man, which I'm very excited about. Hopefully something for, Scooby-Doo. You could do the red shirt and red collar version of Scooby and Shaggy. Give people Scooby a little bit earlier than the mainline stuff for an exclusive kind of vibe, but it's something people might not care about, so it won't be too bad. That's what I'm kind of got my fingers crossed for. Maybe something from the serial characters, but we will see. I'm very excited for these 2, and I'm very excited for whatever else Jenna Toys shows off. And we're not done with Comic-Con. I've got pretty much a lot of other things mixed together in this one because I don't want to talk too long about each of the things from Comic-Con that are exclusives, because I'm sure there'll be like a whole roster of Mattel stuff, Playmates stuff. But SH Figure Art showed off all the stuff they were going to be pre-ordering or selling during the event, which is I think like a Gogeta or something like that. Just all kinds of cool Dragon Ball, some Naruto, as you can see here, will be available at the show as exclusives. And I'm sure they'll be on premiumbandai.com when they go live during the show. We also got something I'm very excited about. I did not think I was going to be buying the WWE exclusive this year, but it comes with Cyndi Lauper in a 3-pack with 2 other wrestler figures, being Roddy Piper, and I'm feeling bad I'm pulling a blank on the third one. But this is really cool because I believe this is also a bit of a Goonies nod, because they were all 3 in the music video, I believe. So I'm like, oh, they're going to get me to buy this because of that. Just the idea of a Cyndi Lauper figure is awesome, too. This is something I would usually see, like, NECA try to do with musicians and stuff like that. So it's exciting to see this, as she has history with, like, wrestling and stuff like that, with the movie music video and stuff like that. But, yeah, really exciting. Then we also got a look at Playmates is doing something. I think this isn't just an exclusive. I think this is like an early drop, because a lot of people in the comments when Playmates post about this went, are you really going to have blind packs being exclusive? How are you going to collect all 12? I think they're going to debut there, and then they'll show up later on. But it is a bunch of chrome turtles with the kind of limited articulation that the original turtles had. So I think it's like shoulder, thigh kind of movement, and then head. And then they're like chrome. And so it's green turtles, silver turtles, and gold turtles. I'm not a big turtle collector when it comes to the Playmate stuff. I do like the new G.I. Joe crossovers they're doing. I do like the turtles. I collect anything Michelangelo. I don't know if I want to go for blind boxes to try to find a Michelangelo. And also I'm nervous to see action figures in blind boxes. I don't want this to be something that gives people the idea that they should do this with action figures in general. Because I don't want to have to try to get a figure that I won for $30 at one point, is what toys are going for now, and try to pull the figure I want for $30. That's expensive. So I know this is probably just a little gimmicky thing they're doing for the convention, and then they'll probably sell some online afterwards. I can't imagine it to be exclusively there. I feel like this is an early kind of thing. But yeah, so that's some Playmates turtles, some SH Figure Arts, a really cool wrestling set, just all kinds of awesome stuff going to be at Comic-Con and probably online. I know the Mattel stuff they did say will be online on Thursday if you want to try to go for it and you're not at the convention. Second week of Target Geek Out has happened, and we knew it was going to be McFarlane. We didn't know exactly everything. We just knew there were going to be some sports figures, and in fact, that was all it was. It was 3 sports figures. I'm not going to try to say all the names. I know one is, I think, Magic Johnson, and one is Larry Bird from the Celtics. I'm trying to remember the 49ers member, because it's funny, because 49ers is probably it's my top football team, and I feel bad that I don't remember the name of the athlete here. And the only reason I know about those two is because they're, big basketball people too. And my grandmother is a big Celtics fan. But I'm feeling so bad I'm pulling a blank on the name of the football player. But yeah, those were the 3 items they showed off. As of right now, as far as I can tell, if you go to Target.com and you buy the 3 of them, they equal enough that you get like $5 off of each of them or something like that, because there's a coupon right now and they're included. They're really cool looking figures. It gives me very starting lineup vibes, but hopefully it does a lot better, and that they keep making these at McFarlane, because I think this is a cool idea and they're just fun. If you're an athlete fan or a sports fan, these are really cool. I'm kind of a par sports fan. Like, I know I got excited when the 49ers Transformer finally came out. That was the only NFL football helmet one I bought. I would love to see them do basketball Transformers in that deluxe scale, with maybe each of the teams kind of like printed on the ball. That would be cool. I would buy 2 or 3 of those ones. But yeah, really cool Target Geek Out. I cannot wait to see what next week's is. Like always, I will share the links in the description down below for all 3 of these. And we have some more awesome Blokees toy news, model news, when it comes to the Transformers Blokees. I believe these are the blind box ones that are the Galaxy version, I think. Yeah, because there's Defender version, which are the little deformed ones, the SD ones, and then Galaxy Defender and Galaxy version, I think is what it is. So Galaxy version, or Defender version, Galaxy version, I always get it mixed up. But anyways, these are the shining versions, which means they have LED lights that make them glow, and they're a little bit more pricey because of that, and there's not as many characters. In this set, you're going to be getting Battle Damaged Megatron, Battle Damaged Optimus, and then a Battle Damaged Optimus that's a chase that's translucent glowing, as you can see here. There's also going to be Perceptor. What I'm most excited about, Cup is finally in the line, and then Hot Rod, and then the Quintesson Judges. I think there might be maybe one more I'm forgetting. But all of them are really cool. They all have a light up feature. I believe this is the 5th in the line, because I don't think they do a shiny version all the time, because before they were kind of like some of the ones from the line, like the main, like there was 1, 2, 3, I think we're on like 8 or 9 now, or 10. They would come out with, but they've only come out with 5, I think, of these now, and like the last 2 or 3 have been like different characters from different ones done in the shiny version. So I believe this is shiny version 5. But yeah, really cool. They aren't available yet, I don't think, everywhere. I think you can pre-order them on Blokees' website. I could be wrong. I didn't see anything when I went to BBTS or Entertainment Earth. But yeah, really cool looking. I'm definitely going to try to get these. I'm wondering if this is going to be the first time we get Cup, but Cup will be in a non-shiny version later on. So it might be something you might want to wait to save a little bit. But I'm definitely excited for this set. The thing that did get me is they are giving Perceptor Optimus's death table from the scene when he goes into sleeper mode. And they're giving Cup Perceptor in his robot mode, I mean, a vehicle mode, so you can recreate the scene with the rest of your Blokees that have come out of the 86 scene that traumatized so many. So I thought that was very interesting and fun, because we haven't gotten that table in mainline. I was really hoping we'd get that so the sleeper mode Amazon Optimus could go on it. But I have a feeling we're going to get a sleeper mode Optimus off the 86 one, the commander class, but they'll drop it down to like leader, or maybe do another commander, but give him the table so you can recreate that scene in toy form. Not that anyone needs to do that. People have done that though with third-party figures and stuff like that. But it's a very pinnacle moment in Transformers history, so it's not horrible to have it on display like that. It's just a little heartbreaking to see it, recreated in toy form or model form. But yeah, otherwise, really awesome set. I believe these are like, if they're usually $8, they're about $12 or $13. So if you want to pick them up, I will definitely share the link when they're available on my Instagram. And Loyal Subject is bringing us some more M.A.S.K figures, being the vehicles and little figures, with the new 4 vehicles that will be going live exclusively to begin with on July 7th at Big Bad Toy Store. They're going to get the first run on it like they did with the first waves of each of the ones. And then I'm sure they'll show up on other sites and other stores. I have yet to see any of these in store, actually. I think these are all online only. I don't see any Loyal Subjects at Walmart, GameStop, or Target in my area. It could just be that they're not buying it, but it's kind of a bummer. If you want to pick these up, July 7th is when they will be going live on BBTS. I think it's really cool to see more of the vehicles being made. Hopefully this time it'll all kind of work out. I know there were some issues with the first set of stuff, but this time around I'm sure they're going to be hitting it on the head perfectly to get the figures really well done and the vehicles, so everyone can have a wonderful time with these. And I don't know if you follow video game news, but there's a little game called Palworld, I believe is how you call it, or Palworld, which is pretty much, think Call of Duty meets Pokemon, I think is what some of my friends were telling me. They had a whole thing with Nintendo and Pokemon that's been ongoing when it comes to the whole, you stole our ideas but added guns and stuff like that. But if you are a fan of that game and you want action figures to put on your shelf, Now is your chance, because at BBTS and Loyal Subject are working together to get these figures on their site. It's kind of like the M.A.S.K stuff. I think that it will show up at other places. I'm sure you'll see these at GameStop. I'll be surprised if they don't get them. But it is really interesting. There's all the little critters here. And of course, if you want to, you can give them gear and weapons to make them battle one another. But yeah, very interesting concept, very interesting kind of situation around it all. It's amazing to see that they're making toys, even in all the situation with Nintendo being mad at them about the game. But it's really cool to see action figures for it, because even if you're not a fan of the game, these are just really cool. And I'm wondering if the accessories are 1/12 scale or 3-inch scale. That would be interesting. And in Boss Fight Studios toy news, Boss Fight Studios has been doing Hellboy stuff recently. When it comes to their toys, they're doing this kind of like Motu scale, 5.5 inch, I think is what it is. And then they're also doing a 1/12 scale 6-inch line. And we've seen this Hellboy in color, but now we are getting the Hellboy in black and white, which looks really cool. This is an Entertainment Earth exclusive if you want to pick it up. It looks really awesome. Just wanted to cover it real fast here because I love some of the things Boss Fight Studios are doing. I know that there's, some stuff that is cool and some stuff that isn't cool when it comes to the company, but this is definitely something I think is really cool. Just getting Hellboy figures is awesome. I'm excited because I know that recently Lenny and I think is it Lenny and it's on the tip of my tongue, the other gentleman from the G.I. Joe line, they had left Hasbro and went to Boss Fight Studios recently, and so they're working on a lot of stuff along with one of the gentlemen that was an old Hasbro employee who worked on some other cool stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do there. I'm excited to see what Boss Fight Studios is doing in general. I know they're doing a lot of cool Conan stuff, so I'm very excited for this. I'm excited for that stuff. And a while ago, we covered this Kickstarter. It did. It's successful. It was amazing to watch the progress that it made. And I kept saying that I would love to back it, but at the time I had backed other things, so I didn't have the funds. And I really hoped that this would happen, and it has happened. But Big Bad Toy Store is going to be selling. They have them up for pre-order right now. The Cryptoid Battle for the Green Planet. Hopefully I said that right. I know I had that issue during the whole Kickstarter trying to say the name right. For pre-order. And the prices are very reasonable. They're not as much as I was kind of speculating they might be. I think they're about like $45, $50 a figure, depending on the figure. And some are $25, like the little slug of the jackalope. But the fact that now, if you want to, you could pre-order these, and it won't they'll put in your pile of loot. And when it finally comes out, then you get charged, so you have a little bit more time. So even though there's a bit of more of a markup, you'll be able to, now if you missed out on it when it was going for the Kickstarter, you can kind of pace the money and stuff like that so you can get these, because that was my whole hope, because I really loved the black and white Bigfoot. That was supposed to be the Bigfoot in his prime, and I loved the Bigfoot figure and the green alien and the Mothman. I thought they were all really cool, but I was like, I can't throw money at that right now because I'm throwing money at other things when it comes to other Kickstarters and other toy lines. So hopefully these will go up somewhere like BBTS, and lo and behold, they are here. So if you want to pick them up, now's your chance to pre-order them. I don't know how many pre-order sales they're going to have. Sometimes they're up for a bit, sometimes they go pretty fast. So definitely if you have the chance and you want these, now's your chance to pre-order these. I think they'll be coming out later on next year, because they have to produce the product and everything like that after the Kickstarter. So you still have even more time before they take the money. Whereas with the Kickstarter, they take the money immediately because that helps fund the product and make it. So to everyone who funded the Kickstarter and backed it, thank you so much, because other fans who would want to get these, who couldn't do it at the time, now they have a chance to do it. So we owe you a great deal of gratitude. That and the company themselves for doing a really amazing job getting backers and promoting this. They were constantly making posts. I shared quite a few of those because I just had a fun time talking about this and covering it because it is in my wheelhouse. But yeah, really awesome stuff. And talking about Kickstarter, there is a Kickstarter going on right now. It is that of the Bull Air, I believe it is, but they're doing their own toy company now. They're a sneaker company that does all kinds of amazing shoes. When they did the Transformers ones, I was like, those are really cool, but they're a bit pricey. That I'm not a huge sneakerhead, so it was something that I was like, okay, I gotta be good, because I would never wear them. They look too cool to wear. But they're making figures now. They have their figure group they're going to be doing, and they're starting off with Chuck E. Cheese. They got the right to make the figure. They're doing the classic one. I really hope after this one There is more coming. They said after this, if it does really well, they show the rest of the cast. I'm hoping that once they are done doing the original cast of Showbiz, Chuck E. Cheese, kind of like the showman kind of era, maybe we'll get the radical 90s, early 2000s one with the green and purple, and was more cartoon kind of modernized at that time. I know there's the newest one, but that's not my Chuck E. Cheese. This one's more my Chuck E. Cheese, and the one that I grew up with, that was the 90s one, because they still had this Chuck E. Cheese on tokens when I was a kid too. But yeah, back when they had tokens. I don't even think they have tokens now. They use a card like the Vegas. But it's really cool. There's several different ways to kind of get stuff. So there's on the website, for Kickstarter, there is the standard figure of Chucky with all of his cool stuff. Then you can buy other add-ons, which are like sneakers or shoes. There's all kinds of other additional accessories, some really cool different colored accessories and stuff like that. All kinds of different add-ons as you see here, all kinds of different stretch goals too. There's even a gold Chuck E. Cheese that is like the gold coin Chuck E. Cheese, so he's like completely gold. And there's a flocked one, and the only reason I know about the flocked one is they talked about it during Toy Fair, and BBTS, like with the Cryptoids that we talked about a bit ago, they're going to let you pre-order. The Kickstarter hasn't even ended yet. They're going to let you pre-order it on their website. And so for everyone you pre-order on BBTS, I'm pretty sure that means BBTS puts in an order on Kickstarter. So you could buy the flocked one and the standard one right now. And as long as the campaign succeeds, and as long as everything goes well, you will get it through BBTS. But if you want to go directly through them, you can do it through the Kickstarter. And there's a lot of other things you can buy. There's even like some Chuck E. Cheese Madball looking toys and stuff like that. But this is just really awesome. If you are a fan of Chuck E. Cheese and, you know, the old arcade play area kind of vibe and just mascots, this is really cool, especially since, you know, I heard NECA is going to be doing McDonald's characters. We already got like all kinds of other amazing characters and like mascots, like with Jetta toys and NECA and everything like that. So having this kind of step in too, you could have like a Fortnite version of a shelf with all kinds of cool mascots and stuff. So I'm very excited for this. Link is in the description down below if you want to back it. And in comics this week, we think look incredible. We have 3 amazing comics to talk about. First up is the Skybound Image Comics G.I. Joe Energon Universe, G.I. Joe number 23. And as you can see here, Crystal Ball is up to some evil. Very excited for this and continuing the reading it. And then next up, we have Spider-Man Long Way Home, Spider-Man, Venom, nope, not Venom, Hulk, and Punisher, which, if you can imagine, all 3 of those are going to be in the brand new day. So this is kind of a comic to kind of tie in with the movie, but it is not based on the movie. It's just like the comic characters doing something, and it involves the Tesseract, it looks like. So this is very exciting. And then next up, we have What If the Mighty Thor, and this one I'm very excited about, is what if Thor got the symbiote during the Secret Wars Spider-Man instead of Spider-Man. Thor got it. So this is very interesting. So it will be Thor and Venom, or the symbiote at the time, kind of bonding instead of Spider-Man and the symbiote. So this is a very interesting what if comic to celebrate the What If's 50th anniversary. So yeah, that's all the comics this week that I thought were awesome. Let me know in the comments down below if you think these comics are awesome, if there are comics you think are awesome that I should check out, and just kind of, you know, what you think about comics this week and which ones you're excited about. Like always, I will catch you next week with more comics. And on today's Creative Corner, we have a look at a very awesome toy pop and swap customizer with that of Mavrik's Phantasmagoria on Instagram. Hopefully I said that right. And their work is incredible. They take a lot of the Four Horsemen product and some other products and pop and swap stuff and make awesome things. The thing that I caught that I was like, I never really thought of that, was mixing the Cosmic Legions and the Mythic Legions, and it works really well. It makes a fantasy sci-fi vibe. I think we've talked about it a little bit before and how that is something you could do, but seeing it this way and how it's presented is just really awesome. There's some nods here and there. I'm sure you can catch them with certain ones, like the alien with the shoulder cannon, who looks like a certain predator monster. And then, well, I said it, the Predator, pretty much, which is a really cool, you know, part swap kind of, yeah, I guess Kit Bash. And then some Space Marine kind of nods here and there. Just lots of amazing stuff. I really love them using those skeleton parts with the Cosmic Legion parts to make a really cool space monster. And then, of course, the cool-looking battle elephant there, and the bear, who looks like a warrior character instead of just being a mount. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, lots of amazing work. Definitely go check them out. Give them a follow. Give them the shares to anyone who might get a kick out of it. Give them all the likes, the support. They definitely deserve it. Their work is incredible, and I really look forward to seeing what they do in the future. Like always, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will catch you all in the next one.